All right, welcome everybody to the Circle Up, a Mizzou basketball podcast. Not hosted by Julian this week. I am your filling-in host, Curdy, and with us, as always, is Mike with the stats, all the good stuff. Mike, say hello to everybody.
What's up, guys? Happy to be back after getting shellacked by Illinois a week ago. So,
yeah, I don't know if anyone's really fully recovered from that, and I know we're a basketball podcast, but the Gator Bowl came down to my hometown not hometown, my current residence of Jacksonville, Florida. And that really, really cheered me up after that Illinois shellacking. But just to tick Julian off, I'm going to commandeer the show here. Welcome to the Weekend Update. My name is Norm McDonald. And in his book, O.J. Simpson says he would have taken a bullet in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that's some bad luck right there. When the one guy who would have died for you kills you. Anyway, back to the basketball. Have you quite recovered from that shellacking we took from Illinois?
barely. Barely. Still getting over that. 40 points is wild. Kind of what we touched on last.
Yeah, we touched on it quite a bit.
Week.
That second half was absolutely brutal. And now we've just had plenty of time to stew over that loss. With a lot of family members over the holidays. Always the best people to be talking ball with. Every father-in-law is clearly an expert on everything. And so now, what do we have to look forward to other than conference play in the SEC, where the Missouri Tigers will face ranked Florida at home, and then Kentucky, Ole Miss on the road, both of those. Back home for Auburn, and then at LSU is the next roughly 3 weeks for the Missouri Tigers. Man, the SEC still looking like kind of a gauntlet. So we're gonna get into some of this more specific matchups here in a bit, but I think this is mostly going to be mostly like kind of an overview of the SEC. On the whole, we're going to get into it a little bit. But do we want to start just with the matchup coming up against Florida here on that'd be this Saturday, right? Yeah. Saturday the 3rd, yeah. At home against defending national champions, University of Florida Gators.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a sellout crowd. Maybe.
Technically still a break game, all right? So it's okay.
Yeah. Near occupancy, I suppose. This is probably not the way I would want to start conference play, hosting
defending national champions.
Yeah, I guess they don't do the schedule, so such is life. But I think it'll be another tough test for our Tigers, to say the least.
It would be a huge win. It would it's always like kind of when you least expect it with Mizzou when they pull something out like that. And this feels like one of those where it'd be swell. They could really win back a lot of people's favor, at least temporarily, if they could find a way to pull this game off. Because, getting absolutely destroyed by Illinois, and that Kansas game wasn't pretty either. But those teams are both ranked in the top 20. They're good basketball teams. It's still fairly early in the season. It was still non-conference play. Hey, if we keep saying it, but if Mizzou's gonna get it together, now would be a pretty good time to start, guys. Grab yourself a ranked win against the defending national champions could really, like I said, kind of just get the fan base back on board, because right now I think people are really, really, really down on pretty much everything surrounding Mizzou basketball and football. But in terms of basketball, I think that win could be huge. Regarding this matchup against Florida, we know that they are the defending national champions. They brought back a lot of their big men, but I think they lost most of their guard play, right? So I don't know if you wanted to get into your analytics stuff, or just kind of like initial thoughts on this Florida team compared to maybe the teams that we saw last year. We saw Mizzou beat them in Gainesville last year, actually.
Yeah, that was a great game. I guess it shows the Tigers can do it. Our compositional makeup is completely different. unfortunately. So it's
It's not going to
slow.
be easy.
No. Curious to see what the line opens at. I would guess like 7, 7.5, 8 maybe. I don't think I would doubt that it's up. With what, five days away. Florida's
Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere.
Florida's had I would fair to say a wide range of competition they've played. Opened the season, lost against against Arizona. Pardon me.
That was neutral
Then
site, I believe. In one of
yeah,
those
then
tournaments, yeah.
3 weeks later, lost against TCU.
Also neutral site.
Yep, and then lost against Duke. Then their back to back was tough with a Duke and then UConn.
Number 4 and number 5 back to back. Yeah.
So
Look, we have a better record than them right now, technically, but they've lost to number 13, number 4, number 5, and then
yeah, very
like TCU
very
close.
yeah, respectable.
They also haven't lost by more than 6 points all season.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive.
Especially compared to our losses.
And then sprinkle in your St. Francis, your North Florida type teams. They beat the brakes off of Dartmouth. Such a shame to beat their future accountants and CPAs. And
Look, first of all, UNF against UF is a big rivalry. All right, don't sleep on the Ospreys.
yeah,
Right?
is that
It's a North Florida derby right there.
is that the Medicare fraud cup or something like that?
Yeah, it's 40 point win for the Gators.
But no, they've played a fairly decent schedule. You can't complain about those losses in my book.
Absolutely not. And the committee will not care about those losses.
No. Interesting, like they do not. Before I get in and throw out my whole slide deck for it, they don't shoot the three too terribly well, but with their bigs, they will make you pay down low. They're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country, and they don't give up a lot of offensive rebounds either. Kind of turn the ball over. Also, they don't really force a lot of turnovers, so kind of a neutral, four-factor, defense offensive component there. But they hold teams. They're a top, just about number 30 in Ken Pom in effective field goal defensive rating. So that kind of goes toe to toe with Mizzou, who is the 14th best team in the country on offense at effective field goal percentage. So that'll be really interesting. Just see that they lock down shooting, and that's really
It's what we're going to need to do well. So
it's our highest
a
attribute.
little bit strength on strength there, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we want to dive into the deep stuff.
Yeah. Let me
Get the old screen share going here.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners, this is us trying to figure things out without Mr. Julian, who
kind of
we hope
kind
will
of
be
feels
back
like
on
the
Friday.
when the teacher's out of the room and all the kids turn to like the good students to kind of hopefully move the ship along.
Yeah, except we don't have any good students. We've just got us.
Where the fuck's the share at? There it is. All right.
We're doing great, guys.
Yeah, we're we're hanging in there.
Oh God. There we go.
There we go. We're back. Am I good?
Yeah. Sharing our email address if anyone wants to send us hate speech or whatever.
It's wonderful.
So that is for the whole SEC.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I like looking.
You want to go to the slides about Florida?
Yeah,
While we're on them, and then we can come back to the SEC stuff.
Yeah, sure. All right.
There we go. Here's the roster for those Gators.
Very, like I said, well-rounded team. Hopefully, we can, be maybe like a pattern disruptor with our bigs. This would be a Northweather and Phillips game to really step up. Condon's just a force
Yep.
to be reckoned with, unfortunately.
Saw plenty of him in the tournament last year.
Even from their top, obviously their top, 1 and 2, but even down to their 6-7 guy, the Micah Isaiah, unintentional. I guess out of tradition, Curse, we got to do who's the best name on this team.
Oh man, I've been wrestling with it, and I think I've settled on Boogie Fland.
Boogie or Urban.
Yeah. But I think we gotta give it to Boogie. I mean, Micah Hanlogton rather. Jeez, that's a tough one to say. Urban Klavsar. We got. I mean, there's some good ones. Even Chinyelu is a Ruben Chinyelu is another good one. He also did pretty well in the tournament last year, from what I remember. But I'm giving it to Boogie. And he's also been a good player. But Thomas Hawk this year has been a menace. I think he's averaging like 17 points a game.
It'll just be a handful, I think, on all fronts. They could literally just do hockey changes against us, 5 on, 5 off, and I still think we're going to have our hands full. And I'm a big Todd Golden fan, so I think maybe run circles around Gates. We'll see.
Yeah, in general, I think he's done a really good job. I don't remember exactly how that whole scandal last year turned out. I know it didn't look great for him when it first broke, but I don't want to get us sued for defamation or anything.
Allegedly.
It was all alleged, all on Instagram. Who knows? All right, I'm not a lawyer.
He's a great coach. San Francisco, I think, really launched their pedigree, their mid-major prowess. So, yeah, hats off. And then, dun dun dun.
Yep, I was about to say if we have comparing there. So we've got their what's the B stand for?
Just their overall ranking. Just you want high numbers.
Yeah. So they it seems like they have I almost said 6-7 guys, 6-7 guys that are very, very legitimate contributors overall, and we are on a good day hoping to have, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4. I think some of these, Porter has missed a lot of time. Porter and Northweather are ranked 5 and 6 for our team respectively.
Yeah, take this with a grain of salt. Stone hasn't obviously logged a lot of minutes.
Yes, and Stone's 3. Yeah.
So I don't know how far back some of this data goes with Evan Mia, but at the end of the day, I think the top 6 is very accurate. It's probably echoing what we've been saying.
I mean, Sebastian, Mac, Boat, Phillips, and T.O.
It's
basically just been average.
Yeah, just bags in the wind. They'll, So I'm not gonna. We went on our tangents a while ago. But
I really don't love that.
No. And then this was Hustlemetrics, just cross comparing the two teams. I thought it was just interesting. Both very similar in the fact that Florida started, high at 6, and then they saw this, kind of peak and valley.
We both had a little bit of a dip in the second week of the season,
and then obviously
got it back together.
You throw in some losses for Florida with TCU, UConn. Can't remember the other team, and then Duke, and then obviously Mizzou's has just been almost a light free,
precipitous downfall.
Yeah, so kind of landing obviously just probably right in the 80s.
So these for people, even the people watching, these graphs look similar in terms of and what exact stat is this, Mike?
This is Hustlemetric.
Okay, so like efficiency essentially, right? Like
Yeah, just overall play.
yeah.
Just all play rating, I think is what he
And
calls it.
the graphs look similar in terms of like, we both started off basically playing our best basketball of the year, more or less. Had a bit of a dip, came back up a bit, and then the numbers started to fall off. But look at that y-axis for the people that are looking. So the Mizzou's chart is we started and our best was ranked about like 30th in the country. And now we are hovering, around like 80?
Yeah, give or take. I think it kind of,
Yeah.
depending on who you're looking at.
And Florida's chart, they started 6th in the country, and they have now fallen, quote unquote, to 25.
Yeah.
So while the charts look similar, I just want to point out that like the scale on that y-axis is much different. Like this is not insinuating that Mizzou is playing the same way as well as Florida has. It's just in our own respective ways, we've both kind of had similar trajectories throughout the season.
Yeah, and kind of a note, it's a very similar type chart would be Mizzou's. What was the rough year? 2024 though, in 18, never forget. Very similar with starting preseason rank in the mid 50s and then ending at around 145, 150. Yikes. So kind of that initial boost, little bit of a depression and boost again with some cupcake wins, and then kind of a slow fall into the abyss.
Yep, that's pretty much what we've seen. Look, like I said, Florida lost 3 really good guards this offseason through just graduation. But they're bringing back so much front court talent between Hawk and Condon, and then Chinyelu as well. Like those 3 guys alone are, let's see, they're all averaging double figures right now. They have 3 front court guys, all averaging double figures, all returning players that have not just experience but tournament experience, good tournament experience, national championship experience. We're gonna have our hands full. What can Mizzou do, if anything? Yeah, besides play well, make shots. Is there a matchup that you think we can exploit, or is it really just going to be kind of like good on good? We're going to have to just be efficient on offense.
Maybe like a couple. I think we're gonna have a hard time controlling the glass and rebounds in general with their, just their sheer depth and size.
We've struggled with that a lot anyway.
I just think especially going up against this type of team, they don't shoot, like I mentioned, they don't shoot the 3 very well. So that's something maybe I think Mizzou would have to get hot. I'd love to see. This is the type of game where you need and Cruz. You need 2 guys that are out there consistently hitting shots. They don't need
Porter too if we want to, because I don't think we can beat him if we try to match up with size.
Yeah, I don't.
So if we go small, we're gonna need your Porters to step up. Somebody.
Yeah, I think there's like body type, like Phillips has like the muscular, physique, so to speak, to be able to bang down low. But I don't know. I mean, Northweather obviously has the height. Can't take that away from him. But I think they're just 2 different styles of play. I mean, Condon and Northweather.
I'm just they got 3 guys that absolutely terrify me down low.
Yeah, I'm just
because they're athletic. They're not just tall, but those guys can, for the most part, shoot the ball pretty well. But they're efficient. They know how to use their size, and I think that's where Phillips is still trying to learn.
Yeah, I mean they're going to get their blocks. They're going to get their rebounds. Don't let the transition game get away from us. Maybe push it Yeah, I don't know. I just have I don't know. Not to, I hate playing heel and devil's advocate and negative Nancy all the time, but I just have a hard time seeing a Mizzou win.
It's gonna be a tough game, and they have not been playing well lately. Mizzou, I mean, so
No, I mean
they're
this
gonna
would be
really have to turn it around.
yeah. This would just have to be a real just home upset, back the place.
Yeah, maybe get hot, get the crowd into it.
Yeah.
Who knows? We've seen crazier things. It's kind of all I have regarding Florida. If we wanted to dip a little bit more into not a full SEC preview. We'll talk much more about this once Mr. Julian, our lovely host, returns, and I have to stop pretending I know what I'm doing here. But maybe just dive a little bit into at least the first at least the beginning part of our schedule. How are things shaping up? Shaping up in the SEC. We know Vanderbilt's kind of been the
Woofy.
well, there we go. Yeah, Vanderbilt's kind of been the surprise story so far this year. They're 13-0, extremely efficient. Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous start for them. But there's a lot of talent. We see, Florida is number 12 in this relative ranking. We open up against them. Most of our games to start the year, Kentucky also pretty high up there. LSU even at 40, pretty much until we get to Ole Miss for which is the third game. But of our first 5 games, pretty much Ole Miss is the only one that I think we definitely should win. Because beyond that, the conference is looking pretty strong again, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think I classify this as like 3. There's like 3 distinct tiers. And this is, Vandy to, what is that? Vandy to Oklahoma, or Vandy to like Kentucky, and then Oklahoma to Texas A&M, and then Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Mizzou, obviously, and then South Carolina, kind of holding up the bottom 4. Really, the only I think our offense. Again, I don't know. I guess on paper, all these analytics you look at, I get kind of sick of looking at them because I just don't see how we have an offense, in the top 60 right now. But maybe I'm just watching.
Mizzou's offense kind of breaks the analytics sometimes from a numbers perspective with the way they play.
Yeah, there's just a ebb and a flow. It's
just like even when we play good defense, quote unquote, our defensive numbers are going to be terrible just because of the way that we try to play. So it's somewhat deliberate. You can't really trust them too much. We're 59 in offensive ranking here on this list, and then 118 in defense. I mean,
like the look ahead, like you look through, Ken Palm or any of the, egghead basketball guys. The look ahead win loss is kind of fluctuated a little bit. I think the look ahead right now would be Oklahoma win, Mississippi State win, Texas win, and then that's it.
There's a lot of tough games. There's a lot of tough games on that schedule.
I think there's some the variable, I don't want to call them toss-up games. But I guess we would be like Ole Miss.
Yep.
Oklahoma. I'd throw Oklahoma in that.
Ole Miss on the road is
tough.
It's definitely winnable though. At South Carolina too. So it's a lot of the games that we would consider, like the easy ones, quote unquote, are like we only get, I believe we only play Ole Miss once, and that is on the road, and we only play South Carolina once, also on the road. We get Mississippi State home and away rather. But it's like, man, even the easy ones are on the road. There's not a ton of places to find wins here. But hey, I mean, like I said, it's just get one good win to kick this whole thing off, get the fan base, kind of reinvigorated. Because boy, do I really think they need that. I think people are super, super down on this program. I mean, when you lose 91-48 in a rivalry game, it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah, that I mean, we touched on this ad nauseum last time, but yeah, that I think it spooked a lot of people, rightfully so, though.
Yeah.
Into some of our glaring issues that have been there that we've maybe overlooked with the continued promises of the future.
Yeah. What was the phrase you used? You were like, this wasn't a basketball game. It was a
audit that led to a hostile takeover.
Yeah, it was a hostile. Yeah, it was just an absolute indictment of
I mean,
our program. I mean, basically, like all of our dirty laundry, so to speak, got aired out in that game.
Yeah, and
By Illinois, they exposed us top to bottom in every single facet. We just could see they were better than us at every single part of the game. It wasn't like one thing wasn't going right. It's just they had better players. They executed better. They had a better game plan. I mean, coaching, players, talent, just absolutely all of it.
But before I forget, shout out Evan. Shout out Evan Mia for these stats. Hustle Metrics, Ken Palm. They're great. Definitely subscribe to their services. Throw them a few bones. They do a great job for the college basketball analytic community. So that's my pitch. But also, I think on the side note, with back to the hostile takeover, I think it just, for me, it validated my feelings about the promise of transfers, the promise of new guys coming into the program. Like, until they do something and they stay here, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't give a rat's ass how many stars you had in high school or what you did at your other program. Like, do it now, and not just kind of the false sense of hope. Don't sell me hope.
Yep, that's I mean, honestly, that seems pretty fair. Just given how bad that situation was for Mizzou to kind of to start this season. And here's another chart just to kind of show of all the SEC teams here. What stands out for you?
Mizzou being an offensive dependent team. I feel like we've been that for 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, I feel like we've always been that. Which is, the end, you obviously have to score to win. So I'm not naive to that fact, but it would be nice to not always get in a constant boat race with teams.
Yeah, well, it was like I said it right after the Notre Dame loss. There's gonna come a time when you need to just sack up and get a stop. And I don't know, at some point I'm like, do we have enough experience actually doing that? Because we don't play defense per se. We play like pre-offense. Like it's all to try to set up scoring on the other end. And if if the other team misses a shot, sick. That's kind of what we're hoping for. But I don't know that we necessarily force misses. We don't necessarily force the ball out of the other team's good players' hands very often. When we did at Notre Dame, it led to a wide open three.
Yeah, it kind of, and yeah, maybe it's just the style of play. Maybe that's just how basketball is played, and I'm stuck in a bygone era. But it's also I think it highlights I can't remember who said it. None of us coined this term, but the NBA. I don't think I know Julian talked about the NBA style that Gates wants to play, and my brother said something really funny. It's that is, and this goes for all basketball level, not just picking on Gates, but anybody who wants to play this 5 out, motion offense or whatever. Like that's phenomenal when you have a big, whether it's a 3, 4, or 5, that kind of plays like the Joker, like a Jokic or anyone like that. And you go back and look at his my brother. He mentioned like, yeah, look at his Christmas Day stats. I think he had like 56, 16, and like 10 or something like that. Like that system works great when you have a guy that scores damn near 60 points and is getting 10 to 15 assists plus 10 to 15 rebounds. And I would just like to maybe see a change in our approach and take a little closer look at, the roster, composition and play to those strengths, however limited they may be.
And I think we will see that. I mean, nobody, even, Dennis Gates, for as much as crap as we give him, he's not totally naive to some of these facts. I think it's, I've made this comparison before. He's almost like Mike Tomlin-esque in that way, with like, it's so stubborn. Maybe unwilling to kind of change up his style, but I do think he's not totally naive to the fact that he needs to kind of change up the style, and I think we have the talent to at least give these teams a run, if not win some of these games and go on a bit of a run ourselves. Because right now I'd probably put us like, I don't know, like 13th in the conference, maybe 14. I guess it's completely relevant to have this conversation before conference play starts. We don't really have much more because we're going to be doing another episode before Missouri tips off against Florida on Saturday. The episode will probably recording Friday, right? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
To be recording Friday night. Hopefully back with Julian hosting, and we'll get more into it. Right now, who's your and we can just kind of end on this along with anything else that you might have. Who's your scares you the most in the SEC right now? We got into some of the big boys there, but is Vandy?
I kind of like not Florida. I kind of like Bama to win the SEC, or that would be who scares me too. Just their offensive potency is phenomenal without. So, but you never know, they're gonna. Yeah, sometimes they don't come to play. I mean, Kentucky's kind of in that maybe same vein.
Yeah, I could say yeah. I think there's probably at least 5 teams I could see winning the conference. Maybe even 6. If I'm tossing like Kentucky and Tennessee in there as well. Arkansas is going to be a threat too.
Yeah, I like Arkansas too.
Yeah, it's I don't know how legit Vandy is. I'm gonna, this is a boring answer. I'm gonna go with Alabama as well. For who I think will probably win the conference / who scares me the most in the SEC. Obviously, from a Missouri perspective, every team is scary right now with the way we've been playing. So hopefully we can turn things around on that. You got anything else on this matchup or the SEC or anything before we can let the people go?
No, not really. Just ho hum. I guess an interesting thing we talked offline about this. I think it's the Blue Ribbon college basketball book. Look it up. It's like $30, $40, whatever it is. It's well worth it. They cover pretty much every team. I was rereading some of the bits a couple nights ago about the outlook, Gates' outlook. This was also their
preseason.
Yeah, their preseason analysis. Like, I think they hit the nail there. This was straight from Blue Ribbon, and obviously they get access to what they get access to. But they gave our backcourt an A. Swing and a fucking miss. Front court was a B. I think that's fair.
Maybe a foul tip on that one.
Yeah, they got a piece of it.
Yeah.
Bench and depth, A.
I mean, we've had a lot of injuries. All right, I will say that, but
yeah, as I was jotting down my mental and physical notes for this, even with Stone and Pierce in the lineup, starters or not, whatever that lineup composition may be, knowing how everyone else has played.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be working. Weren't there some the quotes about who was it, Phillips and Mack?
Oh,
from the season preview.
Yeah, I think Phillips' size being 7 foot.
This is a quote, by the way. This is
straight from Gates. Straight from Gates. I think his size, there's a legitimate argument to be made for this. But the direct quote reference to Gates context, he was talking about his LSU experience, his experience the previous season at ASU. LSU was averaging, or he started 12 of the last 13 games for the Sun Devils. He averaged about 25 minutes. He's a little bit less now. I think he's averaging like 18 to 19 minutes. He averaged just under 8 points. I think he's right there. 7 reboards. I think he's there. Not sure on the block category. But the direct quote from Gates that you're referring to, he says he's a pro. He's a lob threat, rebounder, shot blocker. He'll be in the NBA. From a size perspective, purely because he's 7 foot. However many pounds he weighs, I don't give a fuck. He's still, from a size perspective, he's 7 feet tall. Like, yes, that's a legitimate contender to get in the NBA.
Actually, the second time today that we've 7-footer from Missouri has been referenced as a potential NBA guy. First time being when Shaquille O'Neal decided to start funding Jordan Wilmore's lifestyle as he trains for the police academy, because according to the news station that did the story, and I do not blame Jordan Wilmore for this because it is not his fault. He did not write the article. He did not ask the dumb questions. But the reporter literally asked him, if the NBA came calling with $1 million contract today, would you take it or would you stay here and keep working to be a cop? And he said, I'd stay here because I want to be a cop. Buddy, he knows darn well the NBA ain't calling. He's 7 foot, like 7'4", and I don't know. It was the second time today that I had seen a reference to, just because you're 7 feet tall and play basketball at the University of Missouri, that you automatically are like an NBA prospect, and that's just not the way
in general.
It works.
Look how many, just because you're tall in high school. Luke Northweather, it's a great example. He averaged 30 points in high school, Gatorade Player of the Year.
Went to Jeff City, right? I think
somewhere outside of there. It's like, yes, you should be getting 30 points a game, but that it doesn't translate to college. It's not a if this then that statement automatically. Looking at Wilmore's stats, he got 1 point a game, 2 rebounds, shot 45% from the field.
It felt way worse than 1 point a game, I'll be honest with you, somehow.
No, yeah, he didn't do shit at. I'm not knocking. I mean,
no.
Credit to this guy. I mean, anyone who wants to be a cop, I support that.
No, I don't care. I don't know. It's nothing to do with him wanting to be a cop. Right? We're not politicizing this at all.
But just the overall I mean, he didn't do anything at Mizzou. Didn't do anything. Northwestern State, I think. So he went. Yeah. So he didn't do anything in the SEC. Didn't do anything in the Southland. Went to Austin Peay. God love him. Didn't do anything in the ASUN.
Yeah, I don't want to knock him again. It's not his fault. It was just again,
no, it's just
this whole because you're tall means you're going to make the NBA is just like not the way that it the way that it works. Regarding the Phillips quote, and Phillips, that would be it feels like a very Mizzou thing to happen, is if Sean Phillips is like largely like ineffective for an entire season with us. Like pretty. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying if that's the case, if he ends up basically doing nothing for us, and then he still ends up making the league and being a fairly effective player. He gets a professional contract, like not even in the G League, like he's actually on a roster. That feels like a very Mizzou thing of like, we had this guy who NBA teams are willing to take a chance on, and we couldn't find a way to utilize him. because it kind of feels that way so far. It's like we've got pretty much with all the pieces. You look at your Sebastian Max, your Sean Phillips.
Could be utilization mixed with just skill scheme. There's probably a lot, but I don't see it. That's just
At least so far, that quote.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we're
like
10, 12 games in, whatever we are now. So, like,
yeah, a lot of season.
Yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, he's at Phillips is about 18 and a half minutes a game. So, not shooting the ball great from the field.
But boy, what he does, he's throwing down some two-handed yams. So,
yeah, throw that, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Hey, I enjoy it. I'll take what I can get at this point. Yeah, man, honestly, what a depressing filler episode. We don't have our host. We already did the recap of us losing by 40 points to Illinois, and we have the defending national champions coming to town on Saturday, and we had to try to fill some time here with whatever we could.
Yeah, I'll leave just one more quote, direct quote. Gates, when asked, this is in the Blue Ribbon book. He's like, "We got size at every position. We could put one of the bigger lineups in the country on the floor. When you've got length, versatility, you can get some things done." And that's just straight for I think Julian. I'll mention that next episode with the whole jumbo lineup, and the internet community seems to rightfully so hate that. So don't know what they saw that we are missing, maybe.
Yeah, like you said, there's so there's a lot of seasons left, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot
Mitchell.
of season left, a lot of games left.
Yeah, Mitchell. I think they're
not
spot
great.
on. I think Ant will, water will find its level there. So I'm not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do what we're gonna have to do there. We're gonna need Ant to step it up, along with, multiple other players, obviously. T.O., Julian's boy, gonna definitely need him as well. I'm sorry, I'm trying to log into our Google Voice here so we can play some voicemails,
Oh, hell yeah.
if possible. But let's see here. Yada yada yada, killing time, filling some stuff. Yeah, because that's about all I got, man. It's a
Yeah, we'll save it for Friday. It's been a little,
we'll let Julian cook a bit. Trying to get logged into this thing, but it's just a few moments. Let's see here. I think we might be in. We'll see. Dismiss voicemail. All right. All right. There's only one voicemail saved from after the Illinois game. Let's see what we got while we're just killing time here.
Total shock, total dismay, total anguish.
Audio's really not coming through.
It's I believe I can't figure out how to put it on speakerphone. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, we'll try this one more time then. See if this works.
First time caller, long time
Is that working any better?
I just gotta say, the Missouri Tigers freaking stink. Oh! Total shock, total dismay, total anguish. You got anything else to say?
There's nothing good.
All right.
Don't say anything at all.
All right, Dennis Gates, take us away from here. I don't know what else to say. It's over now.
I think I saw a total shock, total anguish, total dismay. Pretty much sums it up, Mike. That's some nice parting words to leave our listeners with.
Yep. I got nothing. Stay safe. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hopefully 2026 is going to be the year of the Tigers, baby.
Yeah, avoid the
guys just
roads. A lot of amateurs out there.
That's true.
If you live in a community with the porters, watch out.
All right, M-I-Z.